My stepmother said to my date, "Just so you know, he's got serious issues. His real mom abandoned him." I smiled and said, "She's not wrong." Then I played the recording of her bragging to friends about driving away all his girlfriends. When my father heard what she'd been doing for years, I, 29 male, brought a girl to family dinner last week. Big mistake. Should have learned after the first 5 times. My stepmom has hated every girlfriend I've ever had. 12 years of this woman finding something wrong with each one. Too loud, too quiet, too ambitious, not ambitious enough. I genuinely thought I was just terrible at picking partners. Turns out I was right about that, just not in the way I thought. So dinner's going fine. My dad's grilling, I'm helping him outside, and the girl I've been seeing goes inside to help set the table. When we come back in, she's got this weird look on her face. My stepmom's standing there with her arms crossed, looking satisfied. "Everything good?" I asked. "Oh yes," my stepmom said. "We had a nice chat. Just some things she should probably know about you." My stomach dropped. Here we go again. The girl looked uncomfortable. "Your stepmom was telling me about your mom." "I just think honesty is important in relationships," my stepmom continued. "She should know your mother abandoned you when you were 14. That kind of trauma leaves lasting damage. Attachment issues, trust problems, emotional unavailability. Better she knows now what she's getting into than waste her time." The room went quiet. My dad was still outside, clueless. "Here's the thing. My mom didn't abandon me. She died. Breast cancer. Took 2 years. I was there for all of it. That's the trauma, sure. But abandonment? That's my stepmom's favorite lie. And this wasn't the first time she'd used it." I pulled out my phone, stayed calm. "You're right," I told the girl. "I do have issues, but not the ones she's describing." My stepmom's smile flickered. "My mom died when I was 14. Cancer. 2 years of watching her deteriorate. No abandonment. Just death." The girl's face went pale. She looked at my stepmom, who immediately put on this concerned expression. "Sweetheart, I know that's what you believe, but denial is part of the grieving. And here's something else you should know," I said, pulling up my phone. "This is from 2 weeks ago, my stepmom's book club. I dropped off groceries and accidentally left my phone recording in the kitchen." Hit play. My stepmom's voice came through clear. "This new girl seems sweet, but give it a month. I've gotten rid of 5 already. He has no idea." Last one, I told her he had anger management issues, completely made up, but she bought it. The one before that, I mentioned he was broke and borrowing money. This time I'm thinking the abandonment story again. Works every time. They get scared of all the emotional baggage and run. Just need to keep this up a few more years until he gives up entirely. Then my son gets the full inheritance. Why should my boy have to split his father's business 50-50 with someone who isn't even mine? Her friend's voice, "That seems harsh." My stepmom laughing, "That's called protecting my family." The recording stopped. Nobody moved. The girl was staring at my stepmom with her mouth open. My stepmom had gone from smug to panicked. That's taken out of context. There's more. I pulled up another recording from a month earlier. Family dinner. I'd gone to the bathroom, left my phone on the counter. My stepmom talking to her sister. "Once the will is updated, and my son is listed as primary beneficiary, I don't care what happens with him. But right now, if he gets married, everything splits evenly. Can't risk that." Stopped the recording. The girl was already grabbing her purse. "I need to leave," she said quietly. "Not running from me. Running from this insanity." My stepmom lunged for my phone. "Delete those. You can't record people." One-party consent state. "I can." That's when my dad walked in with the burgers. "What's going on?" "Dad," I said, "sit down. You need to hear this." Update. Holy hell, this blew up. Answering common questions. Yes, the recordings are legal. No, I'm not pressing charges yet. Yes, my dad lost his mind. So after the girl left, she texted later, "We're actually still talking. She thinks I'm handling a psycho situation well. I played my dad everything." About 40 minutes of recordings total. Different occasions over the past month where my stepmom discussed her plans to sabotage my relationships. Watching my dad's face was brutal. He went from confused to angry to this horrible, sad realization. 12 years, he said. She's been doing this for 12 years? I only figured it out recently. Before that, I thought I was the problem. My stepmom tried everything. Those are fake. He edited them. My dad, that's your voice. I was joking with my friends. You named 5 girlfriends and exactly how you sabotaged each relationship. Then the tears. I was protecting you from gold diggers. My dad, what gold? He's an engineer, not a trust fund kid. That's when the real reason came out. My dad's been planning to update his will. Right now, everything goes to her if he dies, with the understanding she'd take care of me and her son. He wanted to change it to split his share of the family machine shop 50-50 between me and my stepbrother. The shop's worth about $800. She didn't want me getting half. You can't give him that, she actually screamed. My son deserves that business. He's worked there 3 years. And my son is my son, my dad said quietly. Doesn't matter who gave birth to him. She lost it. Threw a wine glass at the wall, called me a manipulative little prick for recording her, said I was stealing her son's birthright. My dad told her to move to the guest room while they figured things out. She refused, said if anyone was leaving, it should be me. This is my house, my dad said. I owned it before we married. Guest room or find somewhere else. That's when her sister showed up. This woman came in hot. You're destroying your family over some recordings? He probably edited them. This is elder abuse. My dad's 61. Runs marathons. But sure, elder abuse. My dad told her to leave. She threatened to take this to court. Eventually left with my stepmom, who packed a bag while screaming about lawyers and her rights. Next day, my stepbrother called. Expected him to be pissed. He wasn't. Dude, what the actual hell has my mom been doing? He sounded horrified. She called crying about you poisoning dad against her. But when I asked if she'd really been sabotaging your relationships, she couldn't even deny it. Just kept saying she was protecting the family. You didn't know? I knew she didn't like your girlfriends, but I figured she was just picky. This is insane. I don't want the business if that's how she thinks she has to get it. That's messed up. He called her and told her that. She accused him of being brainwashed by me and my dad. My stepmom's been blowing up my dad's phone. Texts ranging from, I'm so sorry, baby, I was just scared, to, my lawyer says I'm entitled to half of everything, including the business. She called me directly. Left a voicemail. You've always been jealous of my son. Always wanted your dad to yourself. When he realizes what you've done, how you manipulated the situation, you'll be left with nothing. I gave 12 years to this family. You're not taking that from me. The projection is wild. My dad's meeting with a divorce lawyer. Asked me to come since the recordings are evidence. My stepmom's telling everyone her version. That I trapped her with illegal recordings. That I'm trying to steal her husband's money. Some of her friends believe it. But honestly, I feel lighter. 6 relationships sabotaged over 12 years. 6 women who thought I was damaged goods because of her lies. And I just believed it. Thought maybe I really was too messed up from losing my mom. Yeah, therapy's gonna be fun. Update 2. It's been about a week and she's gone completely off the rails. First, she tried to get back in the house while my dad was at work. Still had her key. Didn't know my dad had changed the locks. The doorbell camera caught her trying the key, then literally kicking the door and screaming about being locked out of my own home. My dad sent the footage to his lawyer. Then she filed a police report. Claimed I'd been harassing and threatening her. Completely false. I haven't contacted her at all. Cops showed up at my apartment. I showed them my phone. 0 calls or texts to her. Showed them her voicemail threatening me. The cop looked tired. Keep records. If she files false reports again, you can pursue charges. Great. 2 days later, she showed up at my apartment. My doorbell camera caught the whole thing. She knocked for 10 minutes straight while I ignored her, then started yelling through the door. I know you're in there. Tell your father the truth. Tell him you edited those recordings. You're destroying my family. Her family. Not ours. I sent the footage to my dad and his lawyer. More evidence. Then she went after my job. Somehow got my work email, sent a message to my supervisor claiming I'd been engaging in illegal surveillance and harassment, and she was concerned about my mental stability. My supervisor called me in, looking uncomfortable. Showed me the email. I explained the whole situation, showed him the recordings existed, explained the divorce. He actually looked relieved. So you're dealing with a vindictive ex-stepmother. Got it. We'll note this as harassment against you. Let us know if she contacts us again. She tried to get me fired and it backfired. My stepbrother called, sounded stressed. Mom's planning something. She keeps talking to her sister about making him see the truth and protecting what's ours. I don't know what, but it sounds bad. Thanks for the warning. She also asked me to lie for her. Said I should tell people you've always been violent and angry, that she was scared of you. I said no. She called me a traitor. My dad got served with divorce papers. Expected. What wasn't expected was the restraining order request claiming he'd been emotionally and financially abusive, and she feared for her safety. Zero evidence. Just accusations. My dad's lawyer fired back with everything. Our recordings, the doorbell footage, the false police report, statements from my stepbrother. But here's where I went on offense. See, I'd been curious about why she was so obsessed with that business inheritance. So I looked at the company's public records, found something interesting. Regular payments to a vendor I didn't recognize. Precision Consulting Services, about $2,000 a month for 2 years. Called my dad. Who's Precision Consulting Services? Long pause. Never heard of them. They've been getting paid from the business account, $2,000 a month, 2 years. That's almost $50,000. Silence. Then, find everything you can. Took me a few hours, but I found the pattern. The consulting company's address was a P.O. box. Business license registered under her maiden name. The bank account? Joint account with her and her sister. She'd been stealing from the business. My dad was quiet when I showed him. Then, send everything to my lawyer. Now, his lawyer called her lawyer that night. Told them they had evidence of embezzlement, and if she didn't drop the restraining order and agree to reasonable terms, they'd file criminal charges. Her lawyer withdrew from her case. The next day, she showed up at my dad's house. He talked to her through the door, Ring camera recording everything. You can't do this. That money was compensation. I managed that business. You stole from me for 2 years. I earned it. You never paid me. You wanted to be involved. I gave you bookkeeping because you asked. That's not a paid position. I gave up everything for you. You sabotaged my son's life for 12 years. You tried to manipulate inheritance. You stole 50 grand. And you're acting like you're the victim? She started crying. The loud, manipulative kind. I was trying to secure our future. Your son never appreciated what I did. I raised him. You met him when he was 17. I deserve half that business. You'll get whatever the court says after they see the embezzlement evidence. Leave. She left screaming about taking everything. The restraining order hearing was a disaster for her. She showed up with some bottom-tier lawyer. Judge reviewed everything. Her behavior, the false police report, trying to break in, the email to my employer, and my dad's lawyer mentioned the embezzlement. Request denied. Judge told her lawyer to advise your client that frivolous filings waste the court's time. She started yelling at the judge. He turned my son against me. He's isolating me. Judge, ma'am, compose yourself or you'll be held in contempt. She didn't compose herself. Kept screaming about how I'd ruined everything, how she dedicated her life to this family. Contempt of court, $500 fine. Escorted out by bailiffs. My dad filed a formal police complaint about the embezzlement. They're investigating. My stepbrother called that night, sounded exhausted. She's completely lost it. Won't admit she did anything wrong. Keeps saying you and Dad conspired against her. I told her I'm not talking to her until she takes accountability. She said I'm dead to her. I'm sorry, man. Don't be. She sabotaged your life for 12 years and stole from your dad. She made her choices. Final update. The divorce finalized last week. Took 6 weeks because of the criminal investigation. The embezzlement charges stuck. $48,000 stolen over 2 years, fully documented. She tried claiming it was compensation, but her lawyer advised her to take a plea deal. Probation, restitution, and community service. No jail time, which my dad was fine with. He just wanted his money back. The restitution she owes was deducted from her divorce settlement. She would have gotten about $90,000 from marital assets. After the theft deduction, she walked away with around $45,000 and her car. She tried to fight for more, claimed she deserved half the business value. My dad's lawyer pointed out she'd stolen from said business. Judge wasn't sympathetic. The house, retirement accounts, business, all stayed with my dad. She got a fraction of the liquid savings. She's living with her sister now in a 2-bedroom apartment. According to my stepbrother, who talks to her occasionally with boundaries, she's bitter. Tells everyone she was betrayed and robbed by her ungrateful stepson and manipulative ex-husband. Zero accountability. Still playing victim. Her sister actually called my dad trying to negotiate. She made mistakes, but gave you 12 years. You could help her get back on her feet. My dad, she sabotaged my son and stole from me. She got what the law said she deserved. We're done. Sister tried the guilt trip. What about forgiveness? Family? Family doesn't do what she did. Goodbye. My stepbrother cut contact with her completely after she demanded he choose sides. He chose peace. Still works at the shop with my dad. They're closer now than when she was around creating division. He told me, she spent 12 years trying to push you out so I'd inherit everything, but all she did was lose the family she had. That's on her. The will got updated. 50-50 split between me and my stepbrother for my dad's portion of the business. Dad also set up a trust so she can't contest anything. Ironclad. The girl I was seeing, we're still together, 8 months now. She thinks the whole situation is insane, but she's been supportive. Family dinners are actually peaceful now. Weird how that works when you remove the poison. I started therapy. 12 years of manipulation takes time to unpack. My therapist pointed out I'd internalized her narrative so completely I'd started self-sabotaging before she could interfere. Picking fights with girlfriends, finding excuses to end things, convincing myself I wasn't relationship material. Because if I didn't try, she couldn't ruin it. That's gonna take a while to work through. I reached out to 2 of my exes. Not to get back together, just to apologize and explain what happened. One appreciated it. One told me to lose her number. Fair. My stepmom tried one last manipulation a few weeks ago. Sent a letter to my apartment. Long, handwritten thing about how she'd always loved me like a son and was devastated by the misunderstanding and hoped we could heal as a family. Then the last paragraph. I lost everything. My marriage, my home, my security. I'm 59 and starting over with nothing. I'm asking you, person to person, if you could talk to your father about helping me. Just enough to get a small place. Please, I know you have a kind heart. I showed it to my dad. He laughed. Not a happy laugh. Sad, tired. She still doesn't get it. I wrote back one sentence. You didn't lose everything. You threw it away. Haven't heard back. Don't expect to. So that's it. Is it happy? Not really. A family broke apart. My stepbrother lost his relationship with his mom. My dad lost 12 years with someone he thought he could trust. I lost 12 years of my 20s to someone else's manipulation. But it's honest. She faced real consequences. Lost her marriage, her financial security, relationships with people she claimed to care about. All because she chose manipulation and greed over being a decent human. And me? I'm learning to trust again. Learning that not every relationship is doomed. Learning that my dead mom would probably be furious I let someone disrespect her memory for over a decade. I'm also learning that standing up for yourself, even when it destroys family dynamics, is sometimes the only option. That documentation matters, that trusting your gut is important, that some people will never take accountability and you can't force them to. My stepmom is still out there telling her version, still playing victim, still convinced she did nothing wrong. I can't control that. What I can control is my life, my boundaries, my future. And that future doesn't include her. Ever. To everyone who messaged support, thank you. To the few who said I went too far, she sabotaged my relationships for 12 years and stole money. She made her choices. I just made sure there were consequences. Time to close this chapter. Edit. Stop DMing asking if my girlfriend is single. She's not. We're good. Also, stop asking for my stepmom's info. No doxing. Edit 2. The business is fine. My stepbrother and dad are handling the bookkeeping now. Turns out, you don't need a thief to manage your accounts. Who knew?